Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be an eyebrow routine. My lighting just went out. Technical difficulties. Sorry. I get a lot of compliments on my eyebrows from my family, my friends, strangers to be quite honest with you, so I decided to introduce myself to the beauty world with my eyebrow routine. It's kind of long. That's just how long it takes me to do them. I have very sparse eyebrows naturally, so I find that the longer it takes, the better it looks. Let's get started. Okay guys, so I zoomed in so that you can actually see what it is that I'm doing. As you can see, I have my foundation already done. I have my contour done. Usually when I do my eyebrows, I bake at the same time. That way it's like getting two things done at the same time. But for today, I already did the baking, so you could just focus on the eyebrows. So I'm gonna grab a angled eyebrow brush. So this is the Morphe E29 brush, and it comes with a little spoolie on the bottom. So what I like to do is, let me just adjust my mirror. I like to brush my eyebrows in an upward motion first. That way I can see just how thin they are really, and then I know where it is I can fill them in. So next I'm going to get my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I absolutely love this eyebrow pencil. I used to use the L'Oreal Brow Definer. It's a drugstore eyebrow pencil, and I believe it was deep brown. I think that's the shade. Some sort of brown, dark brown, something like that. This is in the shade Ebony, so I actually find that the L'Oreal one is a very good dupe for the Anastasia one. If you don't want to spend the extra like 15 bucks, that would be a good option for you. And I'll just start by going in with very light strokes to try to keep it as natural as possible in an upward motion, and just fill in where it is that I see it needs to be filled. I usually get into the shaping after. I just like to fill it in first, that way I can see, okay, like what shape is my eyebrow giving me right now. I'm honestly not one of those people that like to do their eyebrows first before their whole makeup routine. That's not my thing. I find that like my brows get too messy. Like I like already having one part of my face done before I start doing the next part, you know? I don't like to do one brow completely and then move on to the next one. I find that if I do both brows at the exact same time, that kind of gives me a way to make them equal. I try to make them as equal as possible, but we all know that's not very possible all the time. Same thing for the other brow. I'm gonna move in upward motions with my pencil very lightly. You don't want to go too dark. If you want to darken your brows later, that's fine. I just like to start off very lightly. This is a very hard video for me to do because I hate talking during my eyebrows. Like, if when people talk to me while I'm doing my eyebrows, I'm just like, shut up. Like, I can't focus. I just really cannot do it. So you're gonna find that I'm gonna be stopping every now and then just like talking. So when I get to the front of my brow, I tend to do that very last because I like it to be as natural and light as possible. I do not like boxy brows. I find it's a little too defined. It's not my thing. I like to keep it more defined at the bottom where you want more of your shape and around like your arch area. So I'll just lightly go over the edges. Also with my brows, because they're so sparse, I don't like to tweeze them. I don't like to pick at them or wax. I don't wax them at all. I honestly don't even touch them because I don't have many brow hairs left. They also fall out extremely fast. So whatever I have is what I got, and that's what I want to keep. So you'll find that I have these little hairs at the bottom. Sometimes I cover them up more, but over here especially, like I don't like to take them out. So I just deal with them. Like I don't mind that they're there.
Ooh, no.
See, the good thing about making a mistake when you do your brows, I'll show you guys what I did. Right down here. We're gonna clean it up after. So any mistake you make, do not worry. Do not be alarmed because you will fix it. Now that we're getting close to the front, I'm gonna show you exactly what I do. So same thing, I go in upward motions very lightly. I start from the bottom and I just stroke all the way to the top. As you start from the bottom, I would go a little bit harder. That way it's a little bit darker and it shows that it's kind of fading out towards the top. So when I go up, I lightly lift my pencil, and that way it just kind of like an airbrush effect, you know? It just kind of brushes out. So once I get done with one brow, I will then move on to the next one. When it comes to the front of my brows, I do like to do one side and then the other. That way I can kind of match them up easier that way. This is where it gets a little bit tricky because you'll realize how sometimes your eyebrows are on different levels. Sometimes one is thicker than the other. And honestly, that's okay because you know that saying. I'm not going to say it, but you know it. I'm going to say it. Eyebrows are sisters. They are not twins. Does that mean that you should have one eyebrow up here and one eyebrow down there? Absolutely not. That's why we have these fancy things right here. Once again, like I said, anything that you mess up, it's totally fine because we're going to clean it up when we're done. So I'll just start going over everything that I already did before and just kind of darken it up a little bit. If you leave it too light, you're going to see all of the strokes and it's not going to match your actual eyebrow hair. So you want to make sure that you start filling it in dark enough that it matches the actual color of your eyebrow hair. Okay, so now that I have my brows all like feathered out, they're all filled in the way I want them to, we can see that they're kind of looking a little bit crazy, a little bit uneven. This one in particular looks a little bit lower, I think, a little bit lower. So what I like to do now is clean them up and make them a little bit more even. And so I'm going to use the e.l.f. concealer brush. It's just a very small, thin brush. And I'm going to use a concealer that's a little bit lighter. So I like to use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Sand 20. This one's kind of old. I'll take the actual brush itself and take it off of the applicator. And then I like to go, I'm going to adjust my mirror, in under my brow and just shape up anything that I might have messed up or missed. So I'll bring it all the way down to the end of the brow. So as you can see, it's already kind of lifting this brow, whereas this one's just still down and sad and looking, you know, like it needs a little bit of help. I'm now going to blend that concealer with the rest of my brow bone. Brow bone? Is that what you call it? Would you call it a brow bone? I don't know. I'm going to blend it in. That's what I'm trying to say. So once I do that at the bottom, you can see this eyebrow looks a lot more brighter and lifted, whereas like I said, this one's still kind of dull. I'm also going to clean up the outside of my brow. So I just get a little bit more concealer. It might be a little too much, but that's okay. We're going to blend it. I do like to draw my eyebrows a little bit more thicker. There's days where I will draw them a little bit thinner than usual. Today's just not one of those days. I'm feeling thick. I'm feeling full, you know? Once you're done doing this step, you'll actually be able to see where you might need to touch up. And now you can see that they're both a lot brighter, they're lifted. So now what I'm gonna do is just kind of like analyze them and make sure that everything's even. So the same thing is just upward motions. Anywhere where I see I might have missed some spots. So let's go back in and just shape it where I feel like it needs to be redefined. We'll line the bottom of my brow a little heavier than I will the rest of the brow because I like it to be darker at the bottom and, like I said before, kind of fade out into the top of the eyebrow. It just kind of looks a little more natural in my opinion. I feel like when I'm doing my eyebrows, it's like performing a procedure. Like it's like a whole thing. It's just ridiculous. Like I said before, they might not always be perfect and that's totally fine. Some people have eyebrows that are higher up, some people have eyebrows that are a little bit lower. It's just honestly up to you and how you want to reshape them. I just like mine to be a little bit more symmetrical. Throughout the day you make different facial expressions. I don't know, they just kind of start going crazy. So I personally don't like them to be on different levels. So I try my very best to make them as close as possible. So that's pretty much it for how I fill them in. The last step that I will do is use my Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt Gel in the shade Deep Brown. I've been loving this brow gel for like the last year and a half. I find that it's very, it's kind of thin, but also thick enough that it gives you, it like fills it in for you at the same time and also holds your brows in place. I don't like brow gels that are too thick and kind of leave like residue on your brows and then it just looks too dark and too messy and kind of like clay. I find that this brow gel doesn't give me that effect. When I have even thinner brows, believe it or not, because like I said, my brow hairs fall out very easily. So sometimes I'll actually have to just replace where the hair was. I will use the Anastasia brow pen as well in the shade Ebony. This is also amazing. I love this. So what I do is, it's actually very small and easy to use. So I just brush the hairs in an upward motion as usual. And I will get the front hairs especially because they tend to kind of go crazy. And I like to stand them up straight. I don't have a lot of brow hair at the front, so same thing for the next brow. I will brush it upwards. And then when I get to the front, I will just brush that hair in an upward motion and keep it straight. And that way it just fills in any missing hair for me. If I brush it this way, it's just gonna be eyebrow pencil, if that makes any sense. You're just gonna see pencil here, then all my hair is gonna be over here. So I like to bring the hair this way. And that way it looks more natural. You can see my actual brow hairs are here at the front, as well as feathering out through the rest of the eyebrow. With that being said, I do have my days where I just kind of do a little this and that, and then go about my business. Sometimes we just do not have the time to sit there for half an hour and do our eyebrows. That's okay, it's fine. But this is when I do them on a good day, when I'm going out, not going nowhere right now, but on a norm when I'm going out. This is kind of the routine that I would do. So I just felt that if I could share this routine and help others who have very thin, sparse, light colored eyebrows, give them an idea of how they could fix that problem. I just want to give a big thank you to all of my friends and family who have supported me on this journey of me starting YouTube. It has been a long ass time of talking about it and stressing about it, and I'm finally happy to say that I just woke up one day, today, actually I woke up today and decided,
screw it, I'm gonna do it.
So I just wanted to say thank you to my family, my friends, everyone who has supported me. My best friend just recently started her own YouTube channel right here. It is Ilaria Pulitano. Just make sure to check her out. You want to do it. I also just wanted to say to you guys that if you do like this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, as well as leave your comments down below. And do not forget to hit the bell right beside the subscribe button to notify you whenever I post a new video. Thanks guys.